Fueled by discontent over oppression, Chinese citizens are rising up through revenge bombings, with officials' homes exploding one after another. The CCP's brutal rule is triggering a tsunami of regime collapse. Abusing power to bully ordinary citizens has become a habit for CCP officials. Every region is a powder keg, just waiting for a spark to set it off. China's economic data suddenly disappears, hiding a crisis beyond salvage through falsified figures. The CCP has reached a dead end. A crucial signal: Xi Jinping can't hold on anymore, and the CCP regime is on the defensive. US-China tariff war intensifies. Senior officials to meet in Switzerland. Thanks for joining us at New Century, where journalism is thoughtful, independent, and always grounded in fact. Fueled by discontent over oppression, Chinese citizens are rising up through revenge bombings, with officials' homes exploding one after another. The CCP's brutal rule is triggering a tsunami of regime collapse. The Chinese Communist Party's oppressive policies have caused widespread harm, leading to frequent incidents of officials being targeted for revenge. As public fear of the CCP diminishes, the party may soon find itself fearing the people. Recently, an explosion and fire broke out at a high-rise residence in Jimo City, Qingdao, Shandong. According to a video posted on the X platform by Truth Media, an official's home exploded and caught fire, followed by multiple explosions with rumors that someone was blown into the air. An insider claimed the official was engaged in corrupt practices, metaphorically described as deep-sea fishing, which provoked others and led to retaliation. The term deep-sea fishing is a colloquial metaphor for local officials abusing their authority to extort assets, often by deploying public security officers to other regions to seize resources from local businesses, especially private companies in economically developed provinces. These actions have caused significant harm, fueling widespread public resentment. Multiple videos show a high-rise residential building with thick black smoke billowing from a window near the top, followed by an explosion with continuous loud bangs. Another video reveals the exploded room completely destroyed, with no trace of intact walls, blackened floors, and damaged structures. Furniture and other items appeared to have been blown away, leaving the room empty. The entire residence was nearly obliterated. Reports indicate eyewitnesses heard 4 loud bangs, resembling firecracker explosions with flames shooting outward. An insider suggested that firecrackers in the apartment ignited an electric bicycle, causing the fire. Many Chinese netizens expressed skepticism about the footage. How was it captured so perfectly? Who filmed it? So timely and coincidental. Was someone waiting to record this? Some speculated that the explosion was a deliberate act of revenge, with the video recorded and posted online to intimidate and express public discontent. In recent years, as China's economy has deteriorated and official oppression has intensified, revenge attacks targeting CCP officials have reportedly become more frequent. On December 17, 2024, a fire broke out in Taizuan, Zisation District, Huangshi City. An X-platform account belonging to scholar and influencer Luo Xiang reported that the fire was an act of villagers seeking revenge on local officials by detonating gas canisters. Due to the sudden explosion, illegally parked vehicles, and structures blocking access, fire trucks could not reach the scene in time, resulting in a 4-story building being completely burned down. Some netizens commented, "Well done." On November 23, 2024, an explosion rocked a residential area in Binzhou, Shandong Province, shattering windows in multiple apartments in a high-rise building. Initial online reports claimed the explosion involved a bomb placed in a village official's home, describing it as a revenge bombing. On November 24, 2024, Luo Xiang shared a video on X with the caption, "A hotel owned by a CCP official's family was bombed by citizens seeking revenge." The video shows 2 police officers maintaining order at the scene. One officer is seen detaining a suspected perpetrator, while the other attempts to approach the explosion site, but is forced to retreat due to continuous bursts of fire and explosions. On October 6, 2024, an explosion and fire broke out at a CCP official's home near Binjiang Road in Yiyang City, Hunan Province, allegedly due to a personal vendetta. Similarly, on October 5, 2024, a residential building belonging to a mid-level CCP official in Shenzhen's Nanshan district experienced a sudden explosion and fire. Insiders claimed the property belonged to a mid-level official, and the attack was believed to be an act of revenge. Hong Kong writer Yan Chun-gu, in an article published by Sound of Hope, remarked, "From individuals to groups, from isolated incidents to widespread unrest, the path is short." He suggested that anyone with common sense can foresee the outcome, and while the CCP may see it too, the end is inevitable. Veteran journalist Zhao Lanjian argues that China has entered an era of great turmoil, with frequent outbreaks of antisocial behavior just beginning. He notes that rising violent incidents are causing waves of social security panic in major Chinese cities. In a declining economy, many regions have become powder kegs ready to explode. China, with the world's highest stability maintenance budget, has become heavily militarized, ready to confront unarmed civilians at any moment. The hostility and division between officials and the public reflect an irreconcilable social reality. Public resentment is escalating from silent endurance to indiscriminate violent retaliation and increasingly targeted revenge against officials. At this rate, analysts predict a larger uprising than the 2022 White Paper movement as nationwide opposition to the CCP grows. These incidents are seen as signs of the chaos accompanying a declining regime. Some suggest the CCP faces a crisis similar to that of the Assad regime, which collapsed in 2024. As Yan Chun-gu commented, "When the people no longer fear the CCP, it will be the CCP's turn to fear the people." Abusing power to bully ordinary citizens has become a habit for CCP officials. Every region is a powder keg, just waiting for a spark to set it off. Let's start with a shocking incident from May 12, 2024, on Changrong Street in Chengdu, Sichuan. Thousands of citizens gathered to protest the arrogant behavior of an SUV owner, leading to clashes with police and several arrests. The vehicle's owner, an elderly woman, falsely accused a migrant worker of scratching her luxury car, assaulted him on the street, and demanded 10,000 yuan, about $1,286 in compensation. The man denied scratching the car, asserting he only touched it lightly, but the woman slapped him in public and shouted, "My son is the mayor," sparking public outrage. Thousands of residents gathered to seek justice for the assaulted man, surrounding the woman and her SUV. Subsequently, the woman called the police, and Chengdu authorities deployed a large number of police and special police to the scene. Officers formed a protective circle around the woman's SUV. A senior police officer in a white shirt arrived, accompanied by multiple police vehicles and a public security bus stationed at the scene. Videos showed the assaulted man subsequently being forcibly taken away by police, with onlookers shouting, "Release them! Release them!" Due to the crowd's obstruction, the woman could not drive her SUV away. She later left in a police vehicle while her SUV remained stranded. The next day, Chengdu police issued a statement claiming both parties had been reconciled and denied rumors that the woman's son was the mayor. One netizen remarked, "Would an ordinary citizen's car be protected by layers of police? This is like denying the obvious." Another commented, "Officials protect each other." The darkness of CCP society is beyond words. Under Communist Party rule, every region is a powder keg, just waiting for a spark to set it off. Under the Chinese Communist Party regime, officials and their relatives act lawlessly, relying on their status with a power delusion that places them above morality and law. They use their authority to bully others, flaunting their official might. Let's dive into this issue. On March 29th, a video surfaced online in Dongguan, showing a man arguing with a woman over a parking space. Speaking with a northeastern accent, she claimed, "I'm a senior military official. Division commanders and governors have to give me face. There are only 100 senior military officials nationwide, got it? Division commanders and governors all bow to me. The man responded, "To the police station, then? Let's settle it there." She shot back, "Absolutely, let's go now. I'll make you pee your pants and show you who I am, a retiree from the armed forces." A netizen revealed the incident took place in front of Chejiade, a German car repair shop in Fenggang Town, Dongguan. The video spread rapidly online but was quickly blocked across platforms. Chinese Communist Party state media issued a statement, claiming that, per Yantian police station in Dongguan, it was just a normal argument handled by standard procedure, and the woman was not a senior military official. On the Overseas X platform, netizens scoffed, saying, "If it's fake, why delete the video?" Others speculated she's likely from the system, used to acting arrogantly, possibly using the title to intimidate. Incidents of Communist Party officials leveraging privilege to play big keep occurring, repeatedly sparking public outrage. In Gaoping City, Shanxi Province, a netizen shared a video about a dispute with a female driver while driving. After he called the police, she refused to apologize in their presence, saying, "I'm from the Justice Bureau. Go sue me." Her words triggered widespread anger. The Gaping Justice Bureau initially claimed she mentioned her workplace only to assist police with records, but as public outrage grew, they admitted she was staff and suspended her. Communist Party officials using power to override the law has long been a norm in society. On June 16, 2023, a Beijing netizen posted a video complaining about a car with embassy plates numbered 323007, parked in the middle of a residential entrance road, causing a jam. When the blocked driver asked the driver to move, not only did he refuse, but an older woman beside him arrogantly cursed, claiming they had diplomatic immunity with an embassy car. Netizens uncovered her identity. Yu Qi, Secretary General of the Asia-Pacific Space Cooperation Organization, and former Deputy Director of the China National Space Administration's International Cooperation Division. Some visited the organization's Beijing headquarters, photographing the offending car. Under public pressure, Yu Qi issued an apology video. Netizens reacted, saying, "Her arrogance was real, the apology fake, and she reflects the haughty face of most elites." Beijing lawyer Jai Chengkun clarified, "Embassy cars must follow traffic rules. Diplomatic immunity doesn't apply here." Even after retirement, Communist Party officials retain a mindset of crushing anyone who crosses them. On June 25, 2023, an elderly couple boarded a train and took their seats. The man felt cramped, adjusted his seat back slightly, and was satisfied. But he noticed the passenger in front of his wife had also reclined, which upset him. He demanded the man adjust his seat forward. The man ignored him. Furious, the elderly man kicked the seat back repeatedly. The situation escalated. The younger man stood and shouted, "This is my right. Railway rules don't forbid reclining, do they?" "I'd let it slide since you're old, but aren't you reclining too?" Infuriated, the elderly man roared, "I'm me, you're you. Can you compare to me? If I weren't retired, you'd be in jail." His wife calmed him down and apologized to the young man, de-escalating the situation. A netizen claimed the man was a retired senior official from the public security, procuratorate, or judiciary system, though his exact former role wasn't specified. The video, uploaded online, ignited public outrage. Netizens commented, "No wonder he's so arrogant. Used to wielding power before retirement, he's still reckless, ignoring public rules and basic respect." These incidents highlight a deep-rooted habit among Communist Party officials, active or retired, to abuse power and bully ordinary people. From parking disputes to train confrontations, their arrogance keeps clashing with public frustration. Will this cycle of impunity continue, or will China's citizens demand change? We'll keep you updated. China's economic data suddenly disappears, hiding a crisis. Beyond salvage through falsified figures, the CCP has reached a dead end. To conceal its economic difficulties, the Chinese Communist Party has stopped releasing hundreds of data points previously used by researchers and investors. The Wall Street Journal reported on May 5, 2025, that until recently, anyone could access various official data, but these figures have now vanished. Not only have cremation data and a business confidence index been discontinued, but even official reports on soy sauce production, a proxy for consumer spending, have disappeared. Wang Quochen, an assistant researcher at the Mainland China Economic Research Institute of Taiwan's Tsinghua Institution for Economic Research, told the Epoch Times that the Wall Street Journal's assessment might already be outdated. Since March 2025, additional data has been suppressed. Wang observes that the CCP's data suppression falls into three categories. The first, as noted by the Wall Street Journal, is outright suppression, ceasing to publish data. The second involves manipulating data definitions. For example, the narrow money supply was redefined in January 2025, causing it to double and reversing the negative growth trend from the second half of 2024. The definition of youth unemployment was similarly altered previously. The third category is direct data manipulation and outright fraud. In January 2025, the CCP announced a 2024 GDP growth target of 5%, but some economists dismissed it as unrealistic and fictitious. Fan Chia-chung, a professor in the economics department at National Taiwan University, told the Epoch Times that recent economic indicators suggest China's economy performed worse in 2024 than in 2023, with economic growth undoubtedly in decline. According to the CCP's National Bureau of Statistics, the Consumer Price Index in 2024 rose by only 0.2% year-on-year, while the Producer Price Index fell by 2.2% year-on-year. A recent CNBC report noted that Goldman Sachs' China chief economist, Shan Hui, predicted that China's full-year CPI for 2025 would drop to 0%, below the 0.2% year-on-year increase in 2024. Fan Chia-chung stated that China's deflation problem, evident in 2023, persists without improvement based on data from the first 3 or 4 months of 2025. Official CCP data shows that in March 2025, China's urban unemployment rate was 5.2%, but the youth unemployment rate reached 16.5%. Multiple interviewees reported a persistently sluggish job market, with no hiring surge during the May Day period and widespread cancellations of temporary job postings. Some commentators estimate that the actual unemployment rate could be as high as 50%. Nomura Securities estimates that, as tariff impacts ripple through the economy, 5.7 million people could face unemployment in the short term, with up to 15.8 million in the long term. Some commentators suggest that, when including related industries, the unemployment figure could exceed 100 million. Fan Chia-chung believes no one can accurately state China's true economic growth rate, not even the CCP itself, because all its data is falsified. Data from all departments and localities is fabricated, making it impossible to grasp the real situation, even for the CCP. The question arises, how bad is China's economy? Regarding the current state of China's economy, veteran political and economic commentator Wu Zhilong told the Epoch Times that the situation is likely more severe than generally expected. Initially thought to be a 2% decline, it now appears to be a severe recession, potentially heading toward a situation reminiscent of the Great Depression of the 1930s. As early as December 2024, Matthias Komp, a China-based correspondent for Switzerland's Neue Zürcher Zeitung, visited Guangdong province, once regarded as the world's factory and the engine of China's economy. He found that local factories were laying off workers en masse, and protests by unemployed workers were frequent. The Beijing government has yet to find solutions to the problem. On the contrary, the authorities' response, as they often do when feeling threatened, has been to intensify suppression and surveillance. According to data from the US-based think tank Freedom House, between July and September 2024, the number of strikes across China increased by 27% compared to the previous year, sometimes accompanied by violence. In nearly all cases, disputes centered on layoffs, delayed wages, or wage reductions. Publicly available information shows that based on 2022 data from the International Monetary Fund, Chinese local government debt reached 92 trillion yuan, accounting for 76% of GDP. A 2024 report by Voice of America noted that in the CCP's pursuit of GDP growth, local governments bear significant responsibility. Over the years, local governments have accumulated massive debts, with the total possibly exceeding 100 trillion yuan, approximately 13.84 trillion USD. Wu Zilong believes that unemployment continues to surge, the real estate crisis shows no signs of resolution, local fiscal crises keep snowballing, and the debt of state-owned enterprises is likely still accumulating, with figures probably surpassing 115 trillion yuan. The central government is under immense fiscal pressure and no longer has the capacity to provide transfer payments to local governments. The only economic driver has been exports. However, with the U.S. imposing higher tariffs and countries used for indirect exports, such as those in Southeast Asia and Africa, also facing equivalent U.S. tariffs, China has effectively lost the U.S., its largest export market. Wu Zilong stated that the immediate major crisis facing China's economy is the complete loss of its export momentum, and relying on domestic demand is not feasible. As a result, China's economy is experiencing a cliff-like plunge, falling into a severe recession. Moving forward, the worsening state of China's economy will become increasingly apparent. A crucial signal, Xi Jinping can't hold on anymore, and the CCP regime is on the defensive. On April 29th, Xi Jinping visited Shanghai, but it wasn't just his itinerary that turned heads. His usual jacket, a hallmark of his public image, was gone, replaced by a suit. To grasp the weight of this, let's look back. In November 2018, Xi toured Shanghai after the China International Import Expo, joined by then-party Secretary Li Qiang and Mayor Ying Yang, wearing his trademark jacket. In November 2023, alongside Chen Jining and Gong Zheng, he visited the Shanghai Futures Exchange, a tech hub and housing projects, sporting either his Xi-style jacket or what many believed was a bulletproof coat. This time at the Model Speed Space AI Innovation Zone in Suhui District, Xi and his entourage wore suits. This shift is more than fashion, it's a crucial signal. Xi has worn suits before, but in today's climate, with a heated US-China trade war and Beijing's nationalist rhetoric, ditching his combat-ready jacket for a Western suit suggests retreat, not strength. The Chinese Communist Party is struggling. On April 25th, at a Politburo meeting, the party stressed 4 stabilizations: stabilize employment, enterprises, the market, and expectations. When the party pushes stability this hard, it often means things are unraveling. Employment topped the list, followed by businesses, markets, and public confidence, all under pressure. While ordinary Chinese bear the brunt, the U.S. trade war isn't aimed at the people but at correcting decades of economic imbalance. This time the danger is greater. The people are suffering, and they know why. With growing access to information, the public is increasingly aware that the root of their hardship is the regime itself. No matter how hard they work, nothing improves as long as the CCP stays in power. That's what terrifies the party most. Hence the Politburo's obsession with stabilizing everything. In reality, the only thing it truly seeks to stabilize is the regime. Xi repeated the same 4 slogans during his Shanghai visit and added a 5th. Effectively stabilize the economic foundation. The fact that this new phrase was introduced so early into the trade war reveals the CCP's vulnerability. Not long ago, state media boasted that storms might shake ponds but could never stir the ocean. Now, they're already trying to stabilize the base. Xi also spoke of comprehensively assessing internal and external risks, and emphasized high-efficiency governance to support a new security framework. In plain terms, this means external pressure from the U.S., internal unrest among the people, and dissatisfaction within the party itself. The CCP is cornered, so we now see the rare sight of Xi Jinping wearing a suit in Shanghai, a clear sign the regime is on the defensive. The curtain is rising on the collapse of the CCP. Meanwhile, across the Pacific, a different story unfolds. President Donald Trump recently sat down with Jeffrey Goldberg, editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, a publication often critical of him. On Truth Social, Trump posted, "Later today I will be meeting with, of all people, Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor of The Atlantic and the person responsible for many fictional stories about me." This bold move shows Trump's confidence. In the interview, he struck a nerve with the Communist Party, doubling down on his tariff policy. He said he's been warning about this for 35 to 40 years, watching other countries exploit the U.S. "We can't keep losing money like this and expect to survive," he declared. He added, "We will become incredibly wealthy. We'll make a lot of money." At that moment, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt noted, "The Dow Jones is up 419 points. NASDAQ is also up." Trump responded, "This is a transitional moment, a major shift. I'm realigning years of bad policy. America's most prosperous period was from 1870 to 1913, driven by tariffs. Then someone decided to tax our own people instead of foreign nations." He concluded, "I want to protect this country and ensure it remains great 100 years from now. This is one of the most important moments in U.S. history." Trump called it a pivotal moment for America, but it may also be a turning point for China. Many hope the U.S. tariff war could bring down the Chinese communist regime. U.S.-China tariff war. Intensifies, senior officials to meet in Switzerland. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer will meet with Chinese officials in Switzerland on May 8, 2025. The meetings were confirmed by their respective offices, with Bessent scheduled to meet China's lead economic representative and Greer to discuss trade with his counterpart. Bessent stated, "Economic security is national security, and President Donald J. Trump is leading the way both at home and abroad for a stronger, more prosperous America." He added that he looks forward to productive talks aimed at rebalancing the global economic system in favor of U.S. interests. The Chinese Foreign Ministry announced that He Lifeng, a member of the Political Bureau of the Communist Party of China Central Committee and Vice Premier of the State Council, will lead the Chinese delegation and meet with Treasury Secretary Bessent in Switzerland. Earlier, China's Ministry of Commerce confirmed it would resume contact with the U.S. side. The U.S. government has expressed tempered expectations for these talks. In an interview with Fox News after the meeting was announced, Bessent emphasized that the purpose of the talks is to de-escalate and create conditions for the next phase of economic negotiations. "The purpose of this meeting is to cool things down," Bessent said. "We need to de-escalate the situation before we can move forward." Since the onset of this round of the U.S.-China tariff war, the U.S. has appeared unhurried in engaging with China. During a hearing before the House Appropriations Committee on May 6th, Bessent responded to a question stating, "We have 18 critical trade relationships, and we are currently negotiating with 17 of those trade partners. China is the sole exception." On the morning of May 6th, President Trump, speaking at the White House, claimed that China is eager to meet with the U.S. because its economy is under significant pressure from U.S. tariffs. "They want to meet with us, and they can't do any business right now," Trump told the media during a meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. "They're in tremendous pain. Their economy is taking a major hit because they can't trade with the United States." Thanks for being with us here at New Century. Don't forget to subscribe and share your perspective in the comments. Until we meet again, stay informed and stay safe.